Tibet has joined the Great Khanate. A shared hatred for the Mark clique has led Tibet into joining Baron Sternberg's faction. The two are currently preparing for war against the clique. The 1936 federal election, the first three elections in over a decade, which many are calling Bruce's election, look set to return a majority for the United Australasia Party. However, the Labour and Country parties are campaigning vigorously, while the Nationalists struggle to retain their core vote, with the left voting UAP and the right declaring for the Guard Centre Party. Many are, at least, grateful for Campbell's Centre Party seemingly has no chance of actually winning, though it seems likely that they'll make a good showing. Oh, we can't actually choose syndicalists here. So Earl Page and the Country Party reduces stability, massive swing of popularity for market liberals. The Australasia Labour Party is a really big reduction to stability, and we get 20% more social democracy. Or Stanley Bruce and the United Australasia Party is a small upswing in stability. The UAP becomes the ruling party, and there's a big change of popularity for social conservatism. We're going for Labour. John Curtin. Social Democrat. Which also means that we need to definitely reform the bureaucracy so that Social Democrats can get more power. Australasian Guard in the election. The Australasian Guard has emerged from the election far stronger than it went in. Eric Campbell's Centre Party, while failing to take many parliamentary seats, did manage to secure a large percentage of the popular vote, mostly at the expense of the Nationalists. Despite this, the lack of coherent strategy as well as a hostile media reception were clear hindrances for them. National populism goes up, and my stability just plummets. Bye-bye, stability. It was nice knowing you. The ACTU makes its move. The Australasian Labour Party National Executive met today in Canberra after being swept into office in an unexpected result. John Curtin now has to decide which direction to take the party and the nation. However, there is a schism already opening between the different wings of the party. Jack Lang and the moderate right wing of the party are up against the revolutionary left, consolidated around the Australasian Council of Trade Unions. The ACTU wants to seize this opportunity to enact real syndicalist policies throughout Australasia, form a republic in memory of the Melbourne Commune, and break from the imperialist entente. Lang wishes to expel these radicals from the party, maintaining our place in the empire. Curtin must make a choice: break his party or lead a revolution. So we can expel them, which has an increase in syndicalists, decrease in social democrats, and gain base stability. Or the ACTU seizes control. We gain the new unrest national spirit, which reduces our stability by another 20%, so it'll be at -3. Syndicalists become the ruling party, no more elections, and we leave the Entente. Boop. And we are now the Australasian Union. John J. Curtin's in charge, Social Democrat, political power gain, resource efficiency, Farrelly, syndicalist, same ideology, monthly opinion. Patrick L. Troy, syndicalist, administrative genius. Ooh. Construction speed +2, research speed +1, and factory output +2. Radical socialist, political power gain +0.04, and also reduction in consumer goods factories used. Not too shabby. Victory for the syndicalists. So in 14 days, we'll get to choose some new stuff. The death of Pius XI. All Christendom mourns the death of His Holiness, Pope Pius XI, who died following a heart attack after having been in declining health for the last several years, something which rapidly worsened following Black Monday. Canada and Afghanistan made peace. You're welcome, Afghanistan. I'm sure that was entirely off the back of my abandoning of the Entente. I'm a little bit surprised that the Entente didn't declare war on us for that. And by a little bit, I mean I am really surprised that we didn't get a declaration of war. The Treaty of Bucharest in 1918 officially ended the Weltkrieg for Romania, but at what cost? The world is changing. So the syndicalists are actually in power, but they only actually control 11% of the government. Okay. And we would need 25% for partial mobilization. We have such bad stability. I think that we need to start doing some stability increasing. First International Congress. Delegates from the socialist nations and political movements from around the world gathered in Paris today. Hi! For the latest in a series of world congresses. While the mantle of the Third Internationale was taken up by the Communards after the Russian Civil War, the ideological tenon of the event promises to be very different, with syndicalist parties being the newly dominant force of the far left. So we can improve worker conditions, which will cost us political power but gain stability. Or we could rally public support, which will increase the party popularity. I think we need to improve the worker conditions right now. The ACTU seeks temporary chairman. While the ACTU prepares for its first Congress, one that will determine the future direction of syndicalist Australasia, there is much positioning behind the scenes for the election of the temporary chairman. The holder of that role will, in effect, have control over the government's day-to-day running. More so, in fact, than the Prime Minister. The moderate syndicalists support the well-known Fred Patterson for the position, though J.B. Miles has been gaining a great deal of steam with his calculated speeches and rhetoric. So, Patterson gains political power but loses resource gain efficiency. Or J.B. Miles loses a lot of political power and this guy is just bad in every way. Why would you want Miles? What am I missing here? I think at this point we kind of want to go straight down the middle, changing popularity for the syndicalist. And that's how you get rid of new unrest. Oh yeah, what does new unrest do? Political power cost plus 0.5 and then stability minus 20%, but at least that's a national spirit, so it can be regained. If you want to go totalist, you want Miles, I assume. I don't really see why we'd want to go totalist, though. It doesn't do anything for us. Oh yeah, Miles does have better efficiency. Resource gain efficiency, that's true. Well, no, he doesn't. Alright, it's an easy way to see this. So, Fred Patterson is just a political power gain. And then Miles is resource gain efficiency, but nowhere near as good as this guy. Curtin is actually really strong. He gains political power and he gets more resource gain efficiency. This guy is just bad. Mr. Patterson. And there we go. The Vickers C Venom has been developed. As has electronical mechanical engineering. So we can now get construction. Why don't I have a research bonus for this? I waited to get a research bonus. Oh, bugger. The 20% factory output requires totalism. Oh! I didn't realize this was an either-or. So this really was... yeah, Syndicalist versus Totalist. These were either. So the Uber production was the Totalist path, while the Uber stability and encryption-decryption is this one. I'm actually going to go for the encryption-decryption because I think that that +1 of both is going to be great, as is the Max Volunteer. Like, this is the one I was really excited about. This is cool. This is awesome. Okay, so the Syndicalist is actually the least powerful, because if we did go AFM, for example, I think that means we can do everything. Yeah, because we can also get the social reforms as a Syndicalist. AFM would have given us that as well as both of these. So we would have had the second best industrial upgrade as well as the... Oh, this is just an army upgrade. Fortress Australasia. No, I'm still pretty happy with this Syndicalist Congress. It's fine. What? Communism not living up to its promises? Fake news. Have that man shot immediately. So we can purge the army, which I feel like I want to do as soon as I possibly can, because it takes 6 months. And during those 6 months we're going to absolutely suck at warfare. This is also going to allow my improved worker conditions to actually do its bit for a bit. Yeah, we're going to do this. The first threat we face is from within. The army is replete with monarchist supporters and those who would stand up against the workers. Even if it means a time of readjustment, we must reform the military and sack any and all of the leaders who refuse to support us. So now we get the... Where is it? We don't have it. Oh, it has to complete first. Duh. How long does it take? 35 days, that's fine. Meanwhile, we are still in the process of constructifying. This is all good. The Papal Conclave. Pius XII was elected. I'm still a little bit concerned about a civil war, because I've seen the Guard takes control appearing several times after somebody else has already taken control. So we shall see. Hey, Duke. But I don't know if that's a event chain or if that's a civil war. Ion Idris is the Cattle King. Leading Australasian writer Ion Idris today published his latest novel, The Cattle King. It follows the life of a recently deceased Sir Sidney Kidman, an entrepreneur and pastoralist who owned or co-owned large areas of the land in Australasia in his lifetime. Kidman became widely popular due to his support of the government and the Welsh Creek and charitable organisations. The book looks set to be Australasia's bestseller for 1936, and there are many drawing parallels between Kidman and the exiled White Raja, Charles Vinner Brooke, who is sure to boost Brooke's popularity. An interesting read. Massive demonstrations. In response to the assumption of the government's control by the Australasian Trade Council Union, massive demonstrations are broken out across the Australasian Union. The government suspects that much of these have been orchestrated by the right-wing radicals, including members of the so-called Australasian Guard, all of whom are slavishly opposed to any kind of syndicalist rule. So far, the government has had its hand full attempting to keep the demonstrations under control, never mind rooting out the masterminds behind them. Syndicalism popularity goes down, even less stability. We're down to 6% popularity. Fantastic, and we're purging the army. Although hopefully if we've purged the army, then the army won't rise against us, because they'll have been purged. And Dun and Deck and Kafamoke, thank you very much for the follows, welcome to the channel. And Maniac, oh, thank you very much for the follow, welcome to the channel. Meanwhile, Canada must be like, no! Australia! You were the chosen one! You were supposed to defeat the Syndicalists, not join them. Silas of the Lambs and Yusef, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Purge the army, they said. See the world, they said. I'd rather be sailing. So the army has been purged. We lose 20% organization and recovery rate and also daily command power. We could now invite the British advisors, which would give us research speed bonuses as well as doctrine research bonuses and daily command power. And the Union of Britain would like us some more. Or we could empower the ACTU to change the popularity of syndicalism. I think what I'm going to do is invite the British advisors, then the ACTU. So hopefully, if this drops to 0% party popularity, we can boost it again with the empower the ACTU. If there is a Britain to whom we should be loyal, let it be the one who controls the home isles. The Crown might call them traitors, but they are the British people. How can they betray themselves? Let us invite the Union Britain to join us in marching together towards a new future. New Zealand will probably break away. They can certainly try.
What are your orders, sir?
I think the other thing I want to do... actually... Yeah. We do actually have a surplus, so what are you sure... Oh, manpower! Right. Yeah, that's a problem. The government has received word of large movements of Australasian Guard supporters. Many of them are headed towards New Zealand, where their paramilitary forces have set up temporary bases under the command of Field Marshal Thomas Blamey. While we do not know their plans, we have no intention to wait for these radicals to act. So far, over 100 Guard supporters have been rounded up throughout the Australasian Union, including members of the Centre Party and their leader, Eric Campbell. Campbell was resistant to the last, but to no avail, and was hung during a... What? And was hung during a live radio broadcast as an example to any sympathisers. Whether this will dissuade the Australasian Guard remains to be seen. I doubt that somehow. We could train the units.
Where to, boss?
Yeah, I think I will. Having them at 0 organization during this potential confrontation, I'm sure won't backfire.
Where to, boss?
And the cavalry too, actually. Cavalry might be my best unit. And there it is, the coup. Government forces scrambled today as the capital found itself under sudden siege. Australasian Guard paramilitary troops took numerous officials hostage, led by Field Marshal Thomas Blamey and Major General Herbert Lloyd, as they attempted to take unlawful command of Parliament. The radio broadcast is blaring throughout Canberra, not only calling for Australasians to rise against syndicalism, but claiming to have the full support of the Entente. This is outrageous interference in Australasian affairs, if true, but so far it remains to be seen if forces loyal to the ACTU can even win the day. I'm wondering if this is a way of like really sneakily making the national populists stronger. Coup succeeds. Political power minus 200, gain stability minus 10. National populists take control and we get the Guard. Or maybe no, because you can't elect the Guard. So this must be how you get the Guard government. Or the coup fails. Minus 100 political power. We lose another 5 stability, and the Commonwealth of Canada is outraged. They will send us a strongly worded letter, stating in the strongest possible terms how completely outraged they are with our behaviour of late. Loss of control in New Zealand. There it goes. It seems that Blamey's attempted coup was not the end of it. The Australasian Guard has found supporters in the New Zealand government, which strenuously objects to our syndicalist ideas and separation of the Entente. And over the last days, our control over the island states has deteriorated. Australasian forces are scrambling to prepare for war, even as several of our generals and a portion of our fleet have switched allegiances. We are, it seems, headed for a civil war. North Island, South Island, no longer cause of the Australasian Union. New Zealand gets independence. A whole bunch of our commanders join them, and several of our ships have defected to New Zealand. Sir Squire, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome to Sir Squire's viewers. Hello, hello, hello. And also, Malik Hunt, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Canada in this game likes to go to war when outraged. So un-Canadian. Right, I'm just going to do a very quick save here because war does seem pretty likely. I really should have started training you two far earlier than I actually did. Oh, you guys are exiled because you are currently in New Zealand. Yeah, let's make sure that you guys make it home.
Alright, sir.
Annie Kenny, elected chairman of the TUC. The Trade Union Congress in the Union of Britain was made out to be decisive. Long-time chairman of the TUC, Philip Snowden, declared his resignation.
Yes, sir.
Am I not allowed to use their docks? Are these guys... Yeah, we are. Okay, you just
Right, sir.
weren't. Basic machine tools. Right, I think it's time to pick a doctor. No, I do actually need to get industry first. And then a doctrine. War with New Zealand. Any hope there was of regaining control over the New Zealand government peacefully has evaporated. We must now contend with these rebels, propped up by the Australasian Guard radicals, and eliminate them if we are to have any hope of restoring order within the Australasian Union. Alright, so submarines. All of our submarine commanders still here. I think I'm going to give Crace command of the subs. And then your job is going to be convoy raiding. Right there! And only there. And then our main fleet actually needs to be divided up. So we do actually have a couple of modern destroyers, which I think would work lovely in a separate fleet. And then these guys are going to be my recons. And the recons are going to be under Collins. And then the main fleet I'm going to keep together for the time being as a big strike force. Let me just double check something. Dreadnought, battleship, carriers. But they're small. Do these count as capital ships? These don't count as capital ships. Well, that's interesting. Yes, they do. So we have 4 capital ships and 23 screens. 4 capital ships would require a screening of 20, so this is just about enough. And then you are going to be commanded by Royal for the better positioning. And then when we get an escort commander, the escort commander can be the final guy. And then your job is going to be Strike Force in Tasman Sea. And we'll see if we find any New Zealanders. Oh yeah, we have the capital submarine fleet. Absolutely capital, old chap. And then the army.
What are your orders, sir?
Stop drilling. Stop drilling. And we need to actually put people in command. So we've got Brunadil White, who is terrible. We were going to promote... Huzzah! Was it? No, it wasn't Berryman. Oh, I guess the general that we were going to promote we've lost. Still, having a superior firepower artillery officer field marshal I think sounds like a great idea. Unfortunately, you're old guard, which sucks. We actually kept the modern units, the mechanized and the tanks. Bolin Stalin resubscribing for 8 months now. That's awesome. Thank you. Glory to the Southern comrades who walk upside down. Glory to the Aussie dogs who shall make the Kiwis down. Death to the Canadians who are fascist pigs. Glory to the commune whom this song shall be sang. I'm not singing it though. That is as tuneful as you're going to get me to get. Planning speed for a field marshal is pretty important. I'm wondering if I want to make Laverack the field marshal and then Berryman's going to be the actual commander. Kind of disappointed we lost the field marshal. Because this guy is rubbish, like I don't want to use him. Vasey is really good on the defense, so I think you're going to be my garrison commander. Still can't actually promote anyone to be a field marshal yet. Well, I guess you're going to be in charge for now. You're going to be the artillery expert. You are going to be the cavalry expert,
Orders, sir.
and then you are going to be my defensive expert. So you are going to be tasked with defending this island. Or these islands, I should probably say. For which you need many, many more troops. You're going to cancel your current orders.
Yes, sir.
You're going to cancel your current orders. Then
Where's
you
next, sir?
are going to start a naval invasion from Sydney to Auckland. Like so.
Yes, sir.
And then the cavalry are all going to sit in Sydney too. Now the thing I'm curious about is whether New Zealand's allowed to call in the rest of the... Actually, are you even a member of the Entente? No, you're not. Well, that's good. This counts as an offensive war. Oh no. Alright. Mark my words, New Zealand will win this war. They might. Minus 184 political power is going to be a while before we promote. Promotions doesn't cost political power, it costs command points.
Orders, sir.
Which I can show you here.
What are your orders, sir?
Requires 15 more command power. And I think it probably is going to be buried. Shall I use Leverack? The problem is field marshals level up really slowly anyway, so I really don't want someone who's an old guard as a field marshal. Could make it the cavalry commander, Robertson. No, I think it's got to be Berryman. And then I just need to get somebody else to try and get artillery.
Where's next, sir?
Actually, hang on, is this... Artillery officer is actually different from artillery specialist. How many troops do they have? 6. And 3 factories versus my 20. And ships? 20 against my 39. Where are you based, Sydney? That's fine. New Zealand has joined the Entente. And here they come. Does this mean I have to beat Canada and France to win the Civil War? Because New Zealand's a minor nation.
Orders, sir.
Right, well the first thing I'm going to do is say, that's not important, that's not important. And the second thing is, how good are these cavalry units? Not terrible, actually.
Where to, boss? All right, sir.